Hello, and thank you for all for coming out tonight to share and listen with us today. First of all, I don't think I've seen a more beautiful crowd, so give a round of applause for all of y'all. My name is Amanda Kovach, and I'm the Curator of Education here at the Museum of Contemporary Art, North Miami. Before proceeding, MOCA acknowledges that we stand on the current and ancestral home of the Seminole and Miccosukee tribe of Indians of Florida. We further acknowledge the Calusa, Yaega, Miami, and Tequesta peoples, all historic caretakers of this land. We honor and thank them for their past, present, and future stewardship of Southern Florida. When Lauren Bacchus and I were brainstorming programs, we had a lightning moment of conception in this talk. Surrounded by Jamia's incredible works, we are met with celebrations of Black fashion, beauty, and power. The work leads us through stories of history, possible futures, and the perseverance and progress between. In this space, I look forward to listening to such outstanding and beautiful folks and to hear from you in your reactions to this conversation. Without further, let me share a few words about our speakers and moderator tonight. Artist Chire VantaBlack Regans' art practice extends at the intersection of social justice and storytelling. Her work responds to urgent societal concerns and functions as a critical platform to amplify the voices of the community she engages with. Over the past decades, Chire's work has focused primarily on community advocacy and depicting social narratives without distortion in a variety of mediums. As a St. Louis native and the birth of the Black Lives Matter movement triggered a sense of urgency in her art practice, and it's continued to expand, allowing for a wider range of social accessibility and creative scale. In South Florida, Chire continues to marry her artistic practice with community-led activism, emphasizing the art of storytelling as a means of engaging with communities with radical empathy and transparency. Chire was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and relocated to Miami in the late 1980s. She studied at New World School of the Arts in the mid-90s and graduated from Florida A&M University in 2005. Chire serves on the Miami-Dade County Community Relations Board, Criminal Justice and Law Enforcement Committee, and was the Fall 2020 Artist in Residence with the Community Justice Project. Chire has received critical recognition for her work in advancing social justice and racial equity. In 2020, she received the Ellie's Social Justice Award from Oolite Arts and was recognized as the Best Visual Artist by the Miami New Times. Recently, in 2021, she was awarded a prize for her leadership and activism from the Miami Foundation's Racial Equity Fund. Jade Lilly, a human rainbow, aspires to illuminate the world with vibrant beauty. A visual artist and storyteller, Jade aims to produce a safe haven through her photography, encouraging vulnerability and self-expression. Their work has been featured in publications like Vogue magazine, photo activations with Afropunk, and a Times Square billboard with NASDAQ. Jade has also shared insights with major brands such as Apple and Leica through public lectures, delving into the intersection of art and technology. A lot of flowers.
Thank you.
However, the achievement dear to their hearts lies in inspiring and empowering others. Jade believes in the universal language of images and strives to create visuals that evoke emotions and ignite meaningful conversations. At the core of their artistry is a mission to radiate light and beauty in sometimes bleak world, guiding people to recognizing the strength and potential with themselves. Reyna Noriega is a visual artist, designer, and author. Her work centers women of color, provides joyful and vibrant representations to instill a sense of hope and pride. Having seen the power of introspection, self-reflection, and healing, Reyna's work centers an aspect of our journeys as we rise to be our best, most authentic selves, so that we may experience sustainable and peaceful happiness. Her work has graced covers such as Science magazines and The New Yorker, and has been reimagined into artful swimwear and hair accessories, and thousands of people collect and showcase her art in their homes around the world. And finally, our moderator. Ashley Michelle Miller is an Emmy-nominated wardrobe stylist, motivational speaker, and self-love advocate. She has worked with a diverse range of inspiring individuals, including pop icon Madonna, celebrity chef Carla Hall, and fashion legend Andre Leon Talley. In addition to her work with prominent figures, Ashley has lent her styling expertise to renowned TV networks and brands such as ABC, BET, Food Network, Macy's, Pepsi, and Amazon, among others. Beyond her achievements in wardrobe styling, Ashley is passionately dedicated to raising awareness about mental health and empowering others to wholeheartedly discover, love, and express their I am to the fullest. And without that, let's go ahead and get started.
Hey, Amanda, I want to take your mic for a second. Child, got it in the opener. Hello, everyone. Good evening. How are you?
Hi.
As Amanda said, I am your moderator. I'm going to sit down in a second, but I just had to really be able to, I'm so excited. These women up here, I got notes, This is going to be an open and free flow and conversation, but I had notes because they got so much going on, and I did not want to forget anything. But I also want you guys to just know, as the audience, you will be part of the conversation at the end. We want to make sure that we get your questions, so make sure you prep for them. But before we start, I just want you guys to take a moment to be in the moment. This surrounding that is happening right now, I mean, if you missed at the beginning, we had a walkthrough from our girl Lauren, program director, and she really dived in deep on Jamea and her work. And it is really represented, I can't explain it like Lauren did, but it's really like the idea of it all is taking the essence of your life, everything from the good, from the bad, from the experiences, and really making masterpiece. I mean, this is like vibrant work. She even calls it a utopia space. And I really want us to see within our conversation with these ladies is that when we start to talk about fashion, because that's going to be the topic tonight, and how it's influenced within the Black culture, is that when we get dressed up, child, it's not just coming from the layers of clothing and a space of aesthetics. It's really coming from a place of representation. It's coming from a place that gives me chills. It's coming from a place of us owning who we are and representing the people that came before us, and also even our struggles, and being confident in who we are. And so I'm gonna stop talking now. But before, I want you guys to close your eyes, and I want you to be in the moment. So close your eyes. Be in the moment of this space and what Jamea has represented. Be in the moment of these women and open your heart to what they are gonna tell you about, because the girl's dropping gems, I already know. And be in the moment of honoring yourself, who you are, who you represent, and what you showed up to do today. Because even being here is you showing up to learn and to experience something that's going to enrich you. So now I want you to breathe in and breathe out. Okay, now we can talk. All right, ladies, I'm gonna try to sit right here and talk to y'all. I might get up again, I don't know. But the first question I have is, we know that the title of this conversation was City Girls, Black Armor, and Aesthetics. And I'm gonna start with Jade, because baby girl, this outfit here, explain to me how even you getting dressed this morning, or this afternoon, this evening, was also a representation of armor as you're coming here, and what was your idea when you started to get dressed?
Well, like you said, human rainbow over here. I like to be in touch with my inner child. So whatever is going to let that little Jade shine out, as well as the adult version is here. That way when people see me, they can also feel that too, feel the fun, feel the exciting, the vibrantness, and honestly, anything ridiculous. Hello, do you see these nails? Anything to make me feel good. So that way, when I come out here and talk to you guys, if I feel good, only good energy is going to transmute to you guys. So.
I love that. And energy is everything. We are going to talk about how even their work, the energy in which you guys come from and derive from when you're talking. And so, Reyna, I want to know, because baby, the energy that you give with your work is so deep, so vibrant. Two words that I heard you say in research is peace and joy. And that is what is representation of the things that you do. So tell us even where that comes from. And y'all, I'm gonna stand up because I can't see y'all. And it's throwing off my back.
Yeah, so for me, of course, it was a journey in figuring out what it is that I want to represent, what it is that makes me feel good. And over time, like in my journey, I learned that I like to be able to exude a sense of peace and joy because the world is so busy and there's so much going on. And me personally, like if you know my personality, I tend to stay like at a happy medium. I'm not like over the top. I'm not super solemn. And so I feel like I want my work to kind of be that same happy medium where you're feeling a sense of joy, but you're also not forced to be like up to it if you're not feeling it that day. You know, like if you're always trying to hit this energy, that in itself can be overwhelming and taxing, which for me personally, it can be. So instead, I want you to feel that balance of like, it'll pick you up if you're at a lower mood and it'll also kind of balance you out.
I love that. We talked about in my bio mental health and how it is so important for us to be able to balance that in the way that we express. And so, VantaBlack, I just love your name.
Thanks. Right?
I want you to first tell us the behind the scenes of what it really truly means, your name, because those who know you have another name, but you represent yourself in this, and I believe that it's an alignment with what you feel helps you to be calm, aligned, and really just represents yourself. So tell us, what is that?
Well, those of you that know me know my government name is Chire. And as an artist, I use the name VantaBlack because VantaBlack is the blackest substance on earth. And my work is centered in blackness. And blackness in a lot of different facets, a lot of different levels of blackness. Blackness as a human, blackness as the unknown, blackness as this search for light. So I had been thinking about separating who I am as Chire from my work as an artist, and I needed a name to do that. And VantaBlack had been floating around, and it just felt right.
I love that. The reason why I asked them these first three separate questions at first is because this is just the perspectives and how, especially in the Black community and culture, there are so many ways that we look at things. And I feel that sometimes people group us together, and it ain't right. We can be my girl over here with
rainbow.
all the adornments in the hair and the bright colors. We could be talking about how calming and alignment and mental health is also part of who we are. And we can talk about how we want to change our name because it represents us to a strong ability. And honestly, that is part of your personal style. It's not just about fashion here. And so I'm going to give you guys all three for you to answer this question, and I'll let you guys think about it. But I want to go backwards for a second to little Jade, little Reyna, little VantaBlack, but was Chire. And what were some of the influences? Because when we look at you now, we see strong women who are in their own. They represent in themselves. They're coming here unapologetically. But what were some of those influences in your life that got you to this point? Good or bad, but really shaped your identity? You could go first, Jade.
Well, damn, you said you could think about it.
Okay, well, let's go first then.
I mean, I can say something. So when you say influences, you mean like people?
It could be people, it can be scenarios, it can be in space of this, I would say the fashion and the style, because I we'll talk about this, but I think, some people like to conform because they're scared to just embrace who they are. And you guys sitting here and being you is important. So anything that really influences you.
I would say Miami, because Miami is just so vibrant. And for example, like if you go to like a small town, people kind of look the same. Or if you go to New York, everyone's wearing black and chic. But here, there's just so much plethora of like people just filling the cup of like, you might just see a person in a suit and a Speedo and, like just vibrancy and black at the same time are all from the same place. So seeing that everybody could just really be themselves and be embracing their happiness from that really influenced me to, I want to be like that too. I want to feel good like that.
Yes, shouts out to the 305.
Hello.
Thank you. What about you?
I think for me, it was intertwined with the journey of becoming, one, more sure of myself, and also much more like serious about this idea of cultivating happiness. I think somewhere, little me, my mom dressed me very colorfully and very vibrant and lots of patterns. Somewhere along the way, I lost that, and you want to play it safe, and you kind of overestimate how much people are thinking about you and thinking about what you're wearing. And I think I was like wearing things not because I liked them, but because like that's whatever I thought like would help me blend in or whatever. And so as you come out of like childhood and a lot of your innocence is lost because you see like things are just a lot harder. I learned that it was going to take a lot more work to kind of like cultivate a sense of happiness. And one way was with clothing, and one way was like feeling good about the way that I looked, and like instead of dressing to like meet my mood, if I'm not feeling good, wearing sweats or whatever, I learned that like that would keep me at that mood. Whereas if I dressed as my higher self, I like to think of it, or like the avatar of my higher self, that was something that was gonna like pull me up out of whatever I was feeling.
Like a catalyst.
Love that. Mm-hmm. Mr. Black?
Young Shire was very emotional and paralyzed by emotion and couldn't really express herself. So I would respond to the things that happened to me and around me through just making marks and creating. So I've evolved into someone who's learned a language of emotion, learned how to really express myself. And as an older woman, I'm reconciling with things that happened to me when I was younger. I didn't have the ability to understand what was happening then, but I have that ability now. So it's constantly shaping me as a person, as a mother, as an artist. And I feel like I'm always changing and always learning from things that are going on around me.
I love that. And just going back to what you're saying, in the space of shaping and evolving, us as a culture, we do dope things. And it really comes from a space of us evolving in time, whether we're going through protest, whether we're going through slavery, whether we're going through the celebration of hip hop. All of those different things are how we evolved and connect with ourselves. And so I'm really curious of your process as to how you even get to your work. And I want to start with you, Reyna, because my girl, I'm not going to call her Barbie, especially because, like we talk about black people, but if you see her stuff, how she's dressed, just stand up for 2 seconds, please. This is her life. The bright colors, the floral, you can see some of the print and even her hair clip. She is literally showing you her life. But what I will tell you is, baby girl, don't stop right here in what she got on. It's from on wine bottles. It's on nail art that you can buy. It is on, I'll let you do that, but it's gonna be in hotels. Like, you get to have an experience. But how do you get to the process of understanding that in a time when you may feel like you're doing too much? Because I think that is some of our struggle as especially Black women. We want to embrace who we are, but then we also don't want to be too much as well. And so how do you keep focused in your process as you continue to keep creating?
I think it's knowing how important what I'm creating and what I'm creating it for is. My art journey started in this room, surprisingly. My first internship was a photojournalism internship here at MOCA with Noel.
Wow.
And it wasn't just like the photography, it was my fellow, like the fellow students and just how at home and unjudged I felt in a room with creatives. So when I went back, you know, to high school, to doing like rigorous coursework that wasn't creative, I started to feel the contrast of like, this is what it feels to feel whole and accepted and happy. This is what it feels to feel anxious and stressed. And so as life experiences happen, as you know, you grow up, you go through things, you go through disappointments, you have jobs, you have relationships, friendships, and you kind of try to find that balance of like, okay, I'll never be able to control all of my variables. What can I control? And so for me, in designing, in my paintings, I'm trying to evoke some type of emotion someone can look at and channel and come back to. And then in the products that I create, you know, for a long time, it's like kind of frowned upon for practicing artists to commercialize their work. Whereas when we pass away, it's fair game who wants to license our imagery and all of that, but that's besides the point. So for me, since I do have the power to create products and things for my people, I want you to feel that sense of intentionality when you purchase a hair clip and you know that like, I was thinking of us when I created it, and this is for you. This wasn't an afterthought, you know, of someone trying to market to you to raise their revenue or something like that. So for me, like going back to that same thing of like us being able to find our homeostasis, our happy mediums, and like be able to take the good with the bad in the world and have something to come back to. I feel like it all like starts right there.
And what are some of the influences? I know that you are half Bahamian. Mm-hmm. And what else do you consider when you are drawing and creating your visual art? What are some of those things that influence you?
Yeah, so I think the city I was raised in, Miami, the cultures that I come from, being Bahamian and Cuban, and just like how rich our cultures are, the music, the food, the sense of community, the sense of collectivism, plants, you know, obviously my mom, my grandparents, they were all plant whisperers, and just having these living things around, and like even that was a journey, and learning that like plants don't serve me as being beautiful things in my house, like it's a mutual relationship. All of those practices, like learning to care for plants and watering something, taught me how to water myself. And so kind of bringing that into my artwork, it all says something, no matter how like simple I might make an image. It's like the colors, the plant life, the pose of the subject, like it all means something.
I love that. Watering the plants is like watering yourself, like literally. And honestly, what you ladies are doing are not only watering yourselves, but y'all watering the community. Like VantaBlack, Baby Girl, from the awards that you get for social justice, from the art that has been on City Hall and in City Hall, and the representation of things like gun violence. I really want you to speak to how you're trying to water the community through not only your art, but the I just lost my train of thought. The self-expression that you have for your art, because there's something big about that you want the community to know. What do you want them to know?
A lot of things. Today is the 4-year anniversary of the murder of Breonna Taylor. So I think that these reminders are around us, these experiences, even though they don't happen to you, you still witness what is happening. And I've always been the type to respond to what's happening around me, because I think growing up and evolving as an artist, we were always taught to be very responsible with our message and our content. So I've always felt like that's who I've always wanted to be. And if something is happening to people that look like me, I need to put it in my work because I have that responsibility as an artist, and I take it on as an artist. And I think that sometimes we don't know what's happening until an artist tells us, whether it be music or dance or whatever creative practice it is. If an artist tells you that this is happening, you take it seriously. And we saw that in 2020. We were stuck at home and we were looking at what artists were doing. And so this is always what I've been doing. And I love that people are paying attention now. And I think you don't really have to be an artist to be responsible and responsive to what's happening around you. You just have to find a way to address it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I tend to go on.
No, girl, you're good. You're good. But going back to even specific work that you've done,
Yeah.
I would love for people to, I wish we had it here. She has done pieces of woven jewelry and within braids, jewelry within braids, and on canvases, and to pay homage to fashion and adornment, and us knowing that that's an everyday thing, right? You get your hair braided when you was younger, and you know, child, it probably hurt because your mother hitting you with the comb, or when you know, later on in life, you like, yes, I'm fly, baby, don't come for me. I want to know your representation of that art in itself, and what did that mean to, you know, symbolize that?
All the things is okay. So MOCA is very important to my practice because I started a body of work here, and I was selected as an artist to have a temporary public art piece on the plaza right out here, and I decided to kind of shift from my two-dimensional work and really tap into Blackness, legacy, hair adornments, and I was given the opportunity to do that because they could have been like, girl, we ain't trying to have that shit out here. But it was really embraced, and I love that, and thank you. And so once they let me do that here, I was like, oh, it's up. So, you know, because I was thinking about this is what I did here and how does this continue? Because it's an evolution of my practice. I'm talking to a different pocket of the community, Black and brown women who understand the importance of your hair and having someone take care of your hair and what that requires and how we should sit and have a conversation about that. So now my work is I'm exploring different types of material, I'm increasing scale. So the work is still figurative, but there are no figures in the actual pieces.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
And to just talk about representation, going from hair to the importance of women. I mean, Jade. I have followed Jade for a couple of years, and she has this ability to have, I mean, the girls come out, okay? I don't know if y'all know about the Galentines, but the Galentines get a little fiery, okay? But what I love about it is, especially us Black women, being a little bit more scared to really show off our curves and who we are, because when we look at even aesthetics and the social norm is you're skinny and you know you're a certain color and that's what's deemed as right, but it's not. There's so many avenues and just array of beautifulness, and I just want you to talk about what even gave you the idea to start Galentine's, and you can tell me if the event is called something else, but that's what I know it by. And what is that experience for all these women to come together? They be in the lingerie, y'all, okay? But it's so much more than lingerie. It's like expressive. I know your girl Suki in here be with the flowers, okay? It's about really embracing who you are and really loving in that and the queens that they are. So tell me about that.
Okay, so first off, it's not Galentine's, it's Galentine's with a G-Y-A-L for my Islanders, okay? Get that correct? I'm just kidding. We actually just had our 3rd annual one. Shout out, Third Charm. It was like a month ago. Maybe even a day. I think it was a month ago tomorrow, actually. But anyway, Suki and I one day, we were sitting down and realizing that, like, we want a space like this, especially when it comes to, you know, Valentine's is dedicated to relationships, and it's not only about that, especially, well, it's about love. Love in all the ways. And for me personally, at the time, when we first talked about it, I was single, but I'm in a relationship now over there. But it's like when I was single, my girls and myself, we just like, I really poured into each other so much, like way better than all my past relationships. And I'm like, why can't we just have a space like that? And on top of that, it's not just lingerie, it's boudoir. So whatever you feel sexy in, whether if that's lingerie or a satin dress or all leather or sneakers, I hope not, but sneakers, all of it is allowed. And we wanted to just create a safe space where you could feel liberated, feel sexy, not have to be sexualized, and just be around like-minded, beautiful women that are here for the same purpose, the same intention, just to have a safe space to feel that. And, you know, I'm a photographer. My work really shows embracing women, embracing yourself, embracing your body. So it just made sense as well for Suki with her floral art, the activations that she creates, coming together, it just made sense, like in alignment, where if we come together, it's gonna bring women who is like this as well. And this year, it's really awesome because it's not just about your beauty, it's about your mind, it's about your feelings. And this time, we had a gal talk, so communal talk. We had one question be, what is something that we need as women to feel safe in the community? And everybody in all corners of the room was like filling in to the conversation. It was so beautiful. We were nervous that people like would be scared to talk, but it was like, I got something to say, I got something to say. And I was like, yes, mic everywhere. But even beyond that, not just creating a safe space where, you know, like the girls' room that you could talk and it just stays there. It didn't. We had surveys from the community officials. So that way, again, the question stemmed from that as well. So that way it could take further. It could go further than that. And the people who actually can do something about it can make a difference for us with our voices. So not only do we have a space to be liberated, feel sexy, be hyped up by the girls around you, because listen, girls like everywhere was like, take my picture, yes, girl. Like all the pictures were just girls like getting each other's pictures and hyping each other up and dancing together. And on top of that, let me not just say, it's not just that. We have activations, we have massage parlors, we have the karaoke machine, we have an open poll, we have a mixologist, literally everything that you could think of that you would want to be utopia for women was there, okay? Woo! If you weren't there, you missed out, but it's okay, because it's annual. And I believe Suki and I will be doing more this year just so we can have more spaces to just embrace us and whatever that looks like for you.
I love it. I can't wait for them to run the block again with that one, child. I want to go back to your point about the mental part of it. When we talk about representing ourselves, it is not just about the self-expression. It's about, honestly, like we talked about the armor and protecting ourselves in spaces in which we may feel undervalued or we might feel that we're not worthy. And so I really want to know the process in which you take out the distractions of life, because I'm sure that you guys have all walked in a room and felt like, oof, I want to be my wholehearted self, but I can't, but I am, because I'm convicted too. And so what does that process look as you're creating your work and doing what you're doing, and even just in your daily life, to continue to show up for you? What are the daily things that you do to keep your mind going, to keep your creativity going, and really be able to express yourself?
So I would say my meditation practice. Before, in the beginning, it was hard for me to get in that state of mind, especially with ADD and ADHD, like everything, everywhere. My focus is everywhere. So trying to go back in, especially in my younger years, being more of like a people pleaser. So now, like, really standing 10 toes down, it did come from meditation. Can I actually tell you my meditation practice?
Yes, girl, I want to know.
Okay, so I have this idea, a visual that I like to visualize to get to that place. So this is it, guys, and I hope you guys can take it with you after this. So imagine yourself in Times Square, literally in the street, everything happening around you, cars going by, lights are going, ambulance, people walking, talking, all the things that can distract you is around. And then all of a sudden, a book bag appears. That book bag is on you now. And imagine just inverting the whole world into that book bag, where now you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. And now, while that book bag is on you, you're in a void space, just white, nothing else, just you, your soul, your essence, in that space with the weight of the world on your shoulders. Take the book bag off, put it next to you. So that way you're separating yourself from it, and it disappears. So now when it disappears, you're by yourself in this void space. What do you want to do? Do you want to scream? You want to dance? You want to just sit? And whatever that looks like, this is a space for you. No matter what judgment, obligations, responsibilities, things that you're attached to, everything that you're attached to is just vanished. And whatever that looks like, that's your safe space. So for me, I could just be there, where before I would have to walk myself to get there in order to now present myself to the world.
Girl. Y'all, I'm telling you, that meditation
It's real.
is real. Do you need me to repeat, or you have?
Please.
Okay, child, I don't even remember. She remembered. Okay, setting up your mind for your creative process and who you are. What do you do on a daily to be able to deliver, but also own who you are as a person?
Okay, yes. So I agree, meditation is a big part of that. Also, my space is very conducive to me getting in that headspace. So it's full of inspiration. I have tons of books. I love burning things. I don't know if it's because I'm a fire sign, so my candles, my incense.
Yeah, it's fine.
I feel like, I just feel like having a flame going just gets me in my creative space. And yeah, music. Music is huge. So that's kind of like what just being alone in that space with my music and my candles and a clear mind.
I love that. VantaBlack.
I love that you mentioned music. Music is cleansing for me also. A specific type of music, bass, like heavy bass. It's how Lauren and I met. Where Lauren at? Oh, yes. It's how we connected. I was blasting bass on the plaza because it helps me get in my zone, and I can kind of let things go and just make. And part of my process, and a lot of my work it's very trauma heavy, so working through that trauma in the actual work. So when it comes to in my life taking care of myself, I have a squad of really ridiculous creatives, and some of them are here. Do you hear them laughing? Like, because venting is my love language, and they respect that, and I can vent to them, and we can be reciprocal in how we move through the creative process. So they are paramount to me taking care of myself and dealing with really traumatic stuff. And I'm a mama, so I have to be very careful in what I take in and what I give out.
Yes.
Because I'm raising 2 young people to go out into the world. So all of those things, as a Black woman, we're always juggling things. So I juggle all those things at once and just make it through life. And also, when it comes to entering spaces where I'm in the minority or I'm the only, I've gotten so used to it that I prepare myself to enter a space by saying, you're going to get what you're going to get. And you receive what you're going to receive, because we've spent a lot of time shrinking ourselves and ignoring who we really are and shifting our honesty to fit into a box. Yeah. And I'm also a fire sign, very sick of that. So I choose to not do that. You're going to get Chire / VantaBlack when I come into a space, and I think that's the truth. I'm gonna give you the truth when I come into the space, and I think people are more receptive to the truth.
Well, give it up for the truth, okay? We have only a few more minutes, so before I ask my last special question, I want to give the audience a chance to ask any questions that they might have for the ladies. Let me know and I'll walk over. Okay.
First of all, man, congratulations to y'all. So cool to see y'all here doing the things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A lot of creatives forget to give themselves flowers. Hi, I'm creative. Have you taken the time out to tell yourself that you're proud of yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yes.
I look in the mirror and I'm like, damn, girl, you did that. Okay? And not only for me, but you did it for other women. And other women are always pouring that into me, too, to remind me. And they're like, did you tell yourself that you did that today? I'm like, you're right. So I made it a part of my daily practice to remind myself before I go out and pour into others. Got to pour into myself first.
Absolutely. Agreed.
I think I'm still working on that. I think I'm very good at like gratitude, like general gratitude. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to have a functioning body. In terms of like really sitting in my accomplishments, one, it doesn't help that as a creative, every time you accomplish something, people are asking you, so what are you working on now?
Oh, God.
And what's next?
I hate that.
Can we enjoy the now?
Yeah, you're like, well, what is next? I don't know. And we always have a million ideas going at the same time that we want to actualize. So sometimes it's like I can't be in the moment because my mind is already on the next thing I want to create, and so I'm not satisfied. And there's always the next thing, but definitely trying to be better about reveling in the moments that we prayed for and we worked hard for.
That part. We have worked very hard to do what we do, and when there's any time where you can celebrate yourself, you have to do it, because people will latch on to when you don't celebrate yourself and when you doubt yourself. And as creatives, that's where we go, to self-doubt. But being aware that that's where you're going to go to counter that is so important. I'm going to hype myself up all the time.
Anyone else?
Hey, thank you guys so much. I guess my question is, on a simpler note, like what your definition of beauty is, and if you have time, how you think that definition has shifted as you grow as both artists and women.
I can answer that. I have two answers to that. One, something like the nicest compliment anyone has ever given me about my style was that it's not on you, it's in you. And that really, that was like the nicest thing anyone can say,
That's
so
real.
you can, it's not the money you spend on things or the designer or the name or whatever. It's something in you that is illuminated, right, when you show up as your fullest, truest self. And I think that is the definition of beauty I would like to embody. And I think it also helped to be raised by a strong woman that was never comparing herself to other people and loved herself and exemplifying that. And so I always had a motto that like I never wanted to be anyone else besides a better me. And so it helps in this day and age where we're like pushed to critique ourselves and be critical and want to look like this and want to be a filter. It's good to have that instilled in your mind that like you only have oneself. So that, improving yourself in a realistic sense, not in the sense of like you don't love what you have to work with, I think is super important.
I would say beauty is your essence, because sometimes people, like, for example, you could be a supermodel and be really ugly inside, and trust me, it shows all over. So I feel that your heart is what represents your beauty and how you want to exude that to everybody.
Agreed. I think it's a really pure feeling. How you make me feel beauty a lot.
Oh,
Just so you know.
don't have a tear moment, child, because I'll cry in a second, okay?
I said I wasn't gonna do it. Okay.
The lashes can't come off.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah. That's how you make me feel.
We have time for one more last question. Anyone? No? What y'all got?
Listen now, Mike.
You want to go?
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
My question to you is, have you ever done a piece or something and you didn't like it, but everybody else loved it?
Yes,
Like,
of course. I feel like it's always the ones that we don't like or like the least proud of that like the world goes crazy for. And for me, like there was this one project I did that the whole process of it was just like, And when I finally put it out, that's honestly what started my career. So, yeah, it's not, I feel like we create the art, but it's not, how do I say this? We express ourselves through the art, but it's not always for us. So if you make it about you, then what is that gonna do? If you just put it out, you just share it, and then whatever needs to happen will happen for everybody else. So I'm very grateful for that project I didn't really care for.
Yes, absolutely. It's taught me, honestly, it's taught me not to overthink my work because there's sometimes I labor over something and I want it to be better and better and better. And then like, there's like a lot of my most popular work is like my earlier work that I feel like I had so much technique to learn and things to get better at. And that's what people like love. Yeah, so it's really taught me to like trust in my talents and my abilities because I'm super critical about myself and people are enjoying it and loving it. And like you said, it's released for people to enjoy and to feel something. So I can be like I can have less of a grip on it.
Yeah, I think when it comes to my work, if somebody sees something in the work that I didn't intend, then that makes it more successful for me.
Well, I thank you guys for all your questions. And before I ask my last question, child, it's time for big up yourself, okay? I want to know what is going on, where the people can connect with you, because y'all got some big projects, I know, and I want you guys to tell the world. Go ahead, Jade.
Well, first off, I recently just changed my thing,
yes!
my name, which is
Yes!
awesome. A lot of people know me as Shoot Me Jade, which I feel now that I'm entering more in a healing space for women. It was cute. It was cute in the beginning, but now, we're gonna let her go and just step into the artist and not just the photographer. And I'm working on my photo book to just commemorate that time of Shoot Me Jade. So I'm excited for that. And like I said, Suki and I are gonna be doing more things for the ladies. So just be on the lookout. If you wanna find me, it's Jade Lilly. .rgb, which is rainbow, by the way.
You can find me at Reyna Noriega _ on Instagram. And Instagram is a good hub to find everything else, my website, whatever projects I'm working on. I am an author as well, so I have some new books coming. I have new art coming and stepping into, like she said, like the hotel project, stepping into creating these holistic spaces that incorporate all of the things that I do in one place.
Girl, tell them the hotel and when they could go book the room.
Oh yes, you can book the Reyna room at the Arlo in Wynwood, and it's officially up until April. But I just got word that we may be extending it. So
It's happening.
if you want to have a staycation,
Before I talk about me, I just want to really acknowledge how Black women occupying a space this way is not very common. And I'm just very thankful that we were allowed to do that here. We were given the freedom without a lot of no restrictions to do that here because it is not the norm. There's usually just one of us in a space, and we are completely encompassing this space. And I'm just really, really thankful for that. So for those of you that felt the need to move out of the way so Black women could come to the forefront, I want to thank you for that. Now, You know, they don't always move. You gotta move them. So, it's really busy right now. If you want to get in contact with me, I'm very accessible to a point on IG. I'm VantaBlack 305 on IG. As far as exhibitions, I have a current exhibition up at a gallery called Dot 51. The show will be up until April. I'm also in a group show in Massachusetts. It is all Black and brown women. That was curated by a woman. And that show is called As We Move Forward. Some of those artists are in this space. I think there are 17 of us in the show, and that is unheard of and uncommon. Upcoming, I have a group show at 10 North in Opelika, and then a couple other shows that I can't announce yet. So thank you for being here, and I hope that you continue to follow all of us on our artistic journey.
Booked and busy. Okay, so the last question I have for you women, because you have truly held space, and I believe that when we say I am, it is a declaration of who we are, and it can evolve, it can be different by the minute, by the day, but I want you guys to end with an I am statement and tell the people who you are. Go ahead, Jade.
I am a human rainbow.
What'd you say? What was it?
I'm a human rainbow.
I am powerful.
Yes.
I am here for it.
Period. I thank you guys so much for this conversation and enjoy the rest of your night.